Hey, welcome back to another video. Today is a little bit different in the fact that I want to help you guys figure out what mob you should vote for this Saturday. This video is supposed to be just me going over the facts, what we know about these mobs, and some speculation about them, alongside my prediction and opinion. So the first mob that we have to talk about is the Moo Bloom. Now, Moo Blooms are supposed to spawn within the flower forests and are friendly with bees. Now, in terms of the bees, this could probably mean that the bees normally would pollinate from the cows and go back to their nest to make honey, and the cows could probably be a renewable source for singular flowers, which there's no renewable way to get singular flowers besides having to bone meal the grass in the specific biome. This would be a much more efficient way of perhaps getting flowers. Or the cow could perhaps increase the production of honey, although I think that because bees can pollinate from one flower together, it would not increase the efficiency in any way. Plus, if you were to have multiple Moo Blooms and multiple bees, there would just be the whole max entity cramming thing, and then I don't think that would work too well. Now, in terms of the renewable flowers, there's actually a mob in this mod that I know of, environmental, that's the deer, and it basically is the source for that mod of how to get renewable flowers, and so perhaps that's how the renewable flower mechanic could work, but alongside working with the bees in order to make that happen. Now, the actual flowers on the back of the mushroom are buttercups, but they could be mini sunflowers. I'm going off of what Ray's Works said in his video earlier today, and I'm assuming that whatever he found was a pretty good source as to why these are buttercups, as well as the fact that within the actual Minecraft Earth game, Moo Blooms have the buttercups on them, but if you shear them, they drop the buttercups, and they place dandelions along with sunflowers as they walk. So maybe it'll only do that within Minecraft, or it can just do the renewable flower thing as I stated earlier. Now, what people like about the Moo Bloom is that they're aesthetic for cutesy things. They're of course cute, and they fit well with certain builds that are also cute and homely and have gardens and whatnot. Now, the thing that people don't like about this mob is that it's a variant, and it's just a variant of a cow or a mushroom. It's not too creative of an idea. Although you can argue that for the other two mobs, the Isolager and the Glow Squid, since those are also just variants of already existing mobs. Moving on to the Isolager. Isolagers are supposed to summon clouds of ice above the player's head and smash them down onto the player. They also spawn within the tall mountains in Minecraft. Now, within Minecraft dungeons, Isolagers basically summon those ice clouds within the DLC for Minecraft Dungeons, Creeping Winter, as well as the fact that there's an item that drops randomly called an Ice Wand, which allows the player to do what the Isolager does and summon their own ice cloud. Maybe it's not as efficient as the Isolager, but having that as a possibility for what the Isolager in normal Minecraft could do, or could drop, would definitely be game-changing. Now, the fact that the Isolager spawns within the mountains could either mean that it spawns like any other normal hostile mob would, but with a certain Y level it has to spawn at, and that if you place torches, then it just won't spawn there. Or it could spawn within its own little structure, like the witches do with their own witch hut. I think the Isolager fits really well with the mountain biome from last year, due to the fact that the mountain biomes are getting updated with the terrain, snowier snow, as well as mountain goats. Now, fun fact, mountain goats are actually antelope, so perhaps these goats will be a combination of the mountain goats and normal goats, where then you'll be able to milk them and create cheese or something, or these will be normal mountain goats that do their own thing and separate from normal goats. Now what would be really interesting is if the Iceologer could perhaps have a rare chance to spawn on top of a mountain goat, and this would be some sort of goat jockey where the goat could jump up high amounts of blocks and take no fall damage, and then the Iceologer could attack from on its back. Now the fact that illusioners were hinted at being perhaps worked on again sometime in the near future, this would fit really well with the Iceologer due to the fact that within the Creeping Winter DLC there's a newer retextured version of the Illusioner, and that would pair really well with the Iceologer if it were to be voted for 1.17. Now the reason why people like the Iceologer is that the possibility as to what it can do is really high, as well as the fact that high risk equals high reward, because as a known fact for the Evoker, it's a bit of a high risk enemy to fight due to the fact that it summons Vexes and fangs out from the ground, but it drops a really rewarding item, which is the Totem of Undying, which has been game changing for different metas of the game. Now the reason why people don't like it is because they're afraid that's going to be another mistake like what the Phantom was back in 2017, and that it'll be annoying and too difficult to deal with. Now the fact that Iceologers only spawn within the mountain biomes, it decreases the chances of it being annoying unless you were to choose to go face it. And the fact that there's the high risk, high reward also decreases that perhaps annoying factor. Like sure, you have to deal with it, but once you do, there's something rewarding to make the player feel good about them defeating the mob, basically. A hostile mob is a hostile mob. In this case, the Iceologer is just doing what it has to do. And people would much rather prefer comfortability over having to deal with the fear of the past, for example. And I don't think that should discourage anyone from voting this mob. Now moving on to the Glow Squid. What we know is that it's supposed to be aesthetic, spawns in deep oceans, could also spawn within perhaps the underwater caves and ravines, and that it's not hostile and glows. The fact about its glowing is that it glows similarly to Enderman's eyes, which, as we know, Enderman's eyes are actually a separate texture within the Minecraft folders that basically glows on its own and doesn't produce any outward light. The possibility of the Glow Squid producing its own light is very low due to the fact that Minecraft's code isn't built for that, although they have been reworking the lighting engine for the game, so there's somewhat of a chance, but not really. In the video, you can see that the texture has a sort of animation with its glowing. Now, animation with textures within the game is also not very possible, although I have seen other texture packs and resource packs have different animations within those, which are specified for those packs, although they might have had to configure a few things to actually make it work, which would not do well within the base game. Now you can also see in the video that Jens and Agnes, as well as Vu within the submarine, somewhat get hypnotized. Now this has been confirmed by King B-Dogs himself, that it was just for the video, it's not actually a thing. And so you won't have any hypnotizing effect within the game if you were to vote this mob, or a distracting effect. You can also assume that the submarine in this video, as well as their scuba gear, are not actually gonna be in the game. They're just props for the video. Now in Minecraft Earth, the Glow Squid is just a squid that glows. And so there's not anything too different about it from a normal squid, which is why some people don't really like it. Now there is a possibility that it could drop some sort of glowing ink sac to craft a new light source block, although we already have a few examples of like bluish green blocks that produce light, such as blue soul torches and greenish white sea lanterns, so thing that people do like about Glow Squid is that it's aesthetic, and it would be really great for their builds for fish tanks and whatnot, as well as the fact that there aren't any squid variants. Now, moving on to what I think will happen this weekend. I really just think that many people enjoyed the Isolager. However, I was surprised due to the fact that under the Glow Squid tweet that Minecraft released on Twitter, several people hosted their own votes, which had over thousands of answers. One of which reached over 10,000 votes as well, and then the other one had 6,000 to 7,000 votes. Isolager came in first place, Glow Squid came in second, and Moo Bloom came in third. Now, the fact that Glow Squid is second place within this vote could have been due to the fact that it's basically within the Glow Squid tweet from earlier today, but what I'm predicting is that if they're doing what they did from the previous years of all the previous votes, the least voted mob, or in this case, would be eliminated, and then they would hold the vote once more for the last top two mobs. I think that the Moo Bloom people will definitely migrate towards the Glow Squid, and in this case, the Glow Squid would win. Or, let's say Moo Bloom people are in second place and Glow Squid in third. If the Glow Squid loses, I think those Glow Squid people will most likely migrate towards the Moo Bloom, due to the fact that they both have, I would think, similar mindsets, and the fact that Isolagers could be another Phantom, even though, from what I've explained, would most likely not be a Phantom scenario. Now, moving on to my opinion in terms of what mob I think is the best. In this case, I believe that Isolager just provides more opportunities in terms of what it could offer towards the game, as well as it could add on to the already large but mysterious Illager lore, somewhat connecting Minecraft dungeons with normal Minecraft. And I definitely think that the Isolager, as well as the fact that the mountain biome from last year is getting updated, and the possibility of Illusioners getting re-added, would just be a great segment of 1.17 that most players would enjoy. Here, I'll make a deal for my subscribers. And oh yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, feel free to if you've enjoyed this content so far. Now, for my subscribers, if you guys vote for Isolager and Isolager wins, I'll open a Discord server earlier than when I reach 1,000 subscribers, as I initially promised in a previous video. So, if Isolager wins, we get to hang out, and that's how that works. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was quite different from my normal videos, which I actually kind of enjoyed. It's sort of structured similarly to one of, I guess, Cameron's video essays, which, if you haven't checked out Cameron and Minecraft Abnormals, I'll put their channel link in the description. So, yeah, tell me what your thoughts were in terms of this video, what you're voting for, your reasoning behind voting for it, in the comments below. Anyways, have a good day.